Okay, so we can start doing the coding. Today we also have some students want to present their paper. So first we welcome Christine present first.
Good morning. First of all, I had to change the topic of my dissertation because I wanted to do it about the Brexit, but the problem is I didn't get enough data to do it, so I prefer to choose the topic. So I'm going to speak about Netflix, and I'm going to do a proposal for a modification of purchasing strategy according to macroeconomic theory and also to marketing variables. I don't know if all of you know what's Netflix. Actually, I changed a lot the structure of the presentation. It's not like the previous one. This is a different topic. I want to propose one strategy for that company, so I had to change. I'm speaking about the plan first, and later I speak about in the addendum, I speak about the general information for this company, and also important variables and data for the market and also for the company. First of all, we have to introduce Netflix. Netflix is a phenomenon in the multimedia market. It's a streaming provider of multimedia. It can be films, movies, TV series. And the difference between these other providers, such as iTunes or Blockbuster, was spreading in the past, is that here you have to pay a fee around $10 American per month. And you can see whatever you want. So you pay $10 and you have access to thousands of movies, hundreds of TV series. So first of all, I want to speak about general information, so I go to the addendum. So the most important thing for this company and also for the rest of the companies from this field is the purchasing process. The purchasing or procurement process is the process when you buy the inputs in order to get and transfer to sell the outputs. So in Netflix we have two types of inputs. One is the multimedia input, so from companies like Warner Bros., Disney, or 20th Century Fox. Netflix gets the input, that's the movie or the TV series, or the documentaries. Netflix has to do a small transformation in order to change the codecs and to delivery with the electronic platform to the customers. So we have the input that can be 5, but we have the output that is the streaming. To the customers. And also we have another one that is not so important, that is the infrastructure. Inputs. So Netflix is going to do procurement for these two. The infrastructure input is, for instance, with some providers as Google, Apple, or for instance Intel here, and it's basically to buy servers, to buy the components that are necessary to create the multimedia platform. Also, companies like, for instance, Nintendo, because if they want to offer this service in Nintendo, they have to sign a contract with the provider. So here is the organizational chart, and we see that in other companies, in service companies or in industrial companies, it's not so important, the content acquisitor officer, but here it's really important in this company. Most of the officers of the CEO board are just focused in the procurement in this company, because basically what they need to do is buy movies. Here is the value chain graph. It was made years ago by Porter. So what I did is to get from the budget, from the official statement, financial statement of the company in the 2015, and I divided in the different components of the value chain graph from Porter. So we have to divide two. This two is the operational, but the operational in purchasing is not really important because they don't need to fabricate anything. They don't need to make anything. Just to change some codecs and just manage, receive the file and change it and make it available. But here is the important. This is the firm job. So we have the firm infrastructure, does everything related with the enterprise, with the management. We have also the human resources management. That's not really important in Netflix also because it's a technological company and they don't spend so much money in workers. We have the technological development. It's really important because they need to have a very good servers, not to have fail in the system, breaks. And we have the most important thing you can see in the data with this is for the United States, and you have $2.7 billion. That's what Netflix is spending in procurement. So that's the acquisition of the movies, the dogs, the TV series, and also other things like the servers. And it's the same amount than inbound logistics because it's the input. Also, they have to spend a lot of money in marketing because they have to promotion. They are growing really fastly, so they need to spend a lot of money to go to a lot of markets. This is the value delivery system. Basically, is if you have the value chain system, you have to get the previous one and the next one. So you have to get in the case of Netflix, there is no companies that Netflix provide, so we have to go one step further. So we have the producer and also the distributor. This is, for instance, for one movie like Titanic. The producer is James Cameron, the company for James Cameron, and the distributor is 20th Century Fox and Sony PNG, and Netflix. That is who is going to sell the product. This is more specific. And here we have the purchasing process, that is purchase order specification, supplier selection, contract agreement, ordering, expediting, evaluation. I think I'm going to jump because that's not the most important of the work. Here we have the key suppliers for Netflix. We can see that this is infrastructure, such as Sony, LG, that they put Netflix in the smart TVs, so this is because they are so important. Dolby Laboratories to manage all the music systems and things like that. And also British Media and big telecoms, because sometimes, as Orange in France, they provide the system for free. So if you get a mobile phone data plan, you get also Netflix for free. The supplier selection basically is you need the correct information to get the correct supplier. And we have to manage the contract agreement. Actually, I got a real contract between Colombia and Netflix, and I changed it because I'm going to present my plan, and I changed the contract to modify the real contract. So I will show you later. Ordering and expediting, this is part of the process, but in Netflix it's not really important because you don't need to transfer the product from Taiwan to United States. No, you just need to send the file and you can do it in the cloud, so it's really easy. And also the evaluation, because you need to see if everything is okay, if the movies are well translated, if the file is not corrupt. And the product portfolio and the supplier portfolio, this is really good to basically know how powerful is the suppliers or how powerful is the company. We can see that in our competitivity position, if you invest a lot, you have a really high position in the competition. But in the marketing attraction, it's really high, so we will get a lot of competitors. And for the supplier portfolio, we see that we need strategic suppliers because we don't have a lot of suppliers. Basically, there are just 6 or 7 distributors in North America, and North America is who controls the market. So we need strategic suppliers. So we don't have enough power to get the suppliers. I will speak later about that. Okay. And now I'm going to start with the plan. And first of all, we need to speak about the problems that we have with the current purchasing power. First of all, we have to focus in the global situation, and we see that it's an American company and started in America. First of all, there was 2 companies. One was Blockbusters, and the other one was Netflix. Blockbusters, it was the biggest DVD rental in the world. And Netflix was a company that created one worker that didn't agree with the company and went out and created his own company. And what's the new with Netflix? Instead of have like places where you can rent the DVDs, they had like a club. So people in their homes had like papers, and they fill which movies they wanted to watch. They sent by mail to Netflix, and they receive next day or in 2 days the movie. So it's really flexible, and in the same envelope you can send again with the movies, again the order for the next time, and you can do it whenever you want. You can do it how many times you need. So Netflix started to get the blockbusters market. Even they wanted to sell the company to blockbusters, but blockbusters said no, and the price it was just $40 million. So they lose one company that made blockbusters to go to the bankruptcy. And later they started with the streaming video. The problem we have, this is a bit late, it's from 2014. Now it's more than 50 million subscribers just in the United States, and also in Canada. That is like a very close market, but they don't have a lot of population. It's just 35 million population what Canada have. So basically we see that in the rest of countries it's not really, actually it's kind of very strong, because if you see Finland, for instance, Finland has just 5 million population, so almost one person of 8 people has a Netflix account. That's huge. That's more than the best TV channels in Europe. But we see that they have a lot of subscribers, and also they have a lot of titles. But if we see the internet live status, we see that most of the people are in China. Most of the internet users are in China. The 20% or 19% of population, and we see that we don't have Netflix in China. So we're creating like huge gap. And here we can see that United States has also around 7,000-8,000 titles. It's a bit odd also. But we see that in the rest of the countries it's not the same, the number of titles. How is that? Because when we want to buy one title, we are not buying the title. We don't buy, for instance, Titanic. We buy the distribution right to sell Titanic to the people from one country. So if we want to have Titanic in our platform, we have to buy the distribution rights of Titanic for each country. So this is really expensive. So this is why we have in Netflix different catalogs all around the world, and this may basically two problems. The first one is that we have a different catalog, and that's not good, because people from the United States have to pay the same than people, for instance, from Spain, that we have less. And also people use VPNs, and VPNs, maybe you know that people in China, to connect with Google, they use VPN. That's in China, they connect with one computer, one server in Hong Kong, that they don't have censorship, and from that they can see whatever they want. So this is what they do. Some companies offers their own computers to the people to see Netflix in another country. The problem is that we can have a location rights violation in the contracts. So it can be a huge problem, and it's not possible to, because nowadays they can know, okay, this person is using VPN, but just if it's a free VPN. That's it, that one simple computer connects a lot of times to different Netflix accounts. But if it's paid, normally companies that offer VPNs offer just one computer, one server to one subscriber. So this is impossible to know. So and this make also another problem, that the benefits are really low, because we need to spend a lot of money in purchase the titles in every country. And for this reason, I did the budget in France. I did France because in Spain they started to offer this service last year, and also in Taiwan. So there is not enough data to make that real data. So I have chosen France, and you can see that this is according to the United States and also to France. And we see that the incomes are around 47 million of euros, and also the expenses are really high, are 46 million just in purchasing. You can see here that the purchasing is 33 million euros. So we get a really low margin. I'm going to finish. So the objective is reduce the cost of every content acquisition in all the countries. So we have different plannings. Actually, we have 3 different plans that I propose. One is to change the way we pay to the companies. Half of the price is going to be fixed, and the other is going to be according with the views. And Netflix, it's going to change this just if they have the exclusive rights of distribution. That's for instance if they want to buy Game of Thrones, and just they want to have Game of Thrones, they have to buy more. Other is to change the translation cost, because we have a lot of countries. So if we do the translations, it's going to be easier, cheaper than buy the different movies with different tabs or translations. And also we can just make series, films and movies by Netflix, but that's really expensive. They have own content, but that's really expensive, so we need to provide more. So we have planning, as I explained, and we have that for each, just in France, after my calculations, I get that 366,000 is going to be the average price for each title, fixed part, and this is going to be worldwide. And also we have the variable payment that is going to be around 2 cents per hour, and we have also 1 cent for exclusivity fee. That makes that the best movies, the most new movies are going to we are going to spend the same, but in the movies that are not really interesting for the people, that are really old, we don't need to pay a lot because they are not watching, so we are not paying the variable fee. So here is how I get to the conclusion. You can see later in the, I will send you everything, all the calculations. So, and this was according with the rest of the countries. We have the plan B, and I calculated how is the cost of the average cost for translate with the real data, and I got that we can afford like around 15,000 euros for one movie. So it's good, and we can translate for a total of 20 languages. So I think with 20 languages we can cover most of the world. And here is the make or buy decision. If we want to know how it's going to be to make the content or to buy the content. And we see that if we buy the content, if we buy the content, it's just 45 million for this number, of titles. But for the same amount, if we want to make them, we have to pay 5 times. And we have the recommendations. We analyze the opportunities and the threats. Basically, the only one that we can choose is the plan A, because with the B, we don't solve anything because we're still having a really high cost, and also is really risky with the partnerships. The best thing is that providers are going to get the same amount of money, so they are not going to complain about the cost. The first one is really risky, but if we want to increase the benefits, we have to do something like the number A. And also, plan number C, that's really expensive, as I said. And also, we need to offer more things than just Netflix. So here is ours. And also, here I explain how they should control that everything goes okay and how they should change it. You see. For instance, we can see that how to manage the catalog and also the price and how to manage the views. Also to control the logistics. For instance, if they deliver the file with more than 5 days of delay, the contract is going to be paid less than. And also, if it's more than 20 days, if we are waiting 20 days for one title, we break the contract with the supplier. And also, finally, we just need to control our quality, because some people say that why I'm paying the service if I'm getting a really bad quality, for instance in my mobile phone. So here we have, like, according with the standards in the normal in YouTube or in other providers, we have the minimum that the providers should give us in order to make to transfer the movies, because maybe we can provide a platform that they can perfectly see the movies in high quality, but if the file that we receive is not a high quality movie, we cannot do anything. It's going to like with bad quality. So that's it.
Okay. So I have a question. I think you already present the interesting topic, and you also try to know how to make a decision for the benefit and cost for the movie, or you want to buy some special product. Okay, but the time is not enough. So
Okay, sure, yeah.
So okay. So thank you again. And next is the 侯学蛋. Would you like to present? Oh, you want first? Yeah, okay. So 夏正良 you want first? Okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Jeremy, and Jeremy is my English name, and Xia Chongliang is my Chinese name. And my major is international business, and in third grade, and in this Providence University. And if you have any question and you can't hear me clearly, you can just ask me. My English is not good enough to do this all English presentation. And this is my first time, but I think I will do my best. And first one is the abstract, and my topic is Southern policy of Taiwan. The purpose of this paper is to help us better understand how important it is. And this policy is very popular in recent years. And Southern Asia is the most potential market in recent years too. And we can know in this paper how those businessmen to overcome those obstructions they have ever faced. Now the first one, I'm going to introduction the new Go South policy. The new Go South policy is aimed at expanding industrial, educational, cultural, and agricultural exchange between Taiwan and ASEAN, as well as South Asia. And the ASEAN is the short of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Well, the top industry there is the most popular industry there is smartphones, motorcycles, bicycles, shoes, furniture, and the textile industry. And the most things that those people do over there is like the original equipment manufacturer supplier. Well, this one is what they have to do over there is like the role they play over there. And I'm going to introduce the country named Vietnam, and it's the second biggest investment country for Taiwan. And we also know that the first one is the China. Yeah. And it is also the biggest investment country in this policy. And now I'm going to tell you the difference between the new Go South policy and the old Go South policy. The old Go Southern policy is from 1993 to 2003. And the new Southern policy is since 2014. And why there is an old one and a new one is there is an issue that happened in 2013. And after this issue, the President Tsai has raised this new policy from the New Southern policy, and its name is New Southern policy. The difference between these two policies is not only about doing the New Southern policy is not only doing business. It's like culture, educational, agricultural exchange between two countries. Like we can buy lands at Vietnam, but we can buy lands in Vietnam, but we have to marry a Vietnam girl over there, and this is their government that those other countries come into their country to doing business. And here is the ASEAN initial members. And we can see the biggest one, Vietnam. And we can also know the Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, and Thailand is the biggest members in this union. And here is the ASEAN's goal. This chart is telling us that the first one is a single market and production base. They are going to create a single market and production base and a competitive economic region, equitable economic development, fully integrated region in global economy. We all know that in the world, China and the United States and the European is the most biggest market in this world, and this ASEAN is to build a new potential market in recent years. And here is the chart that the blue one is the benefit that we have doing business with Thailand, and I think the red one is the Vietnam, and I think the purple one is probably Cambodia. And we can see in 1994 is the first Go South policy, and the second policy is in 1997, and the third Go South policy is in 2002. And there is a global financial crisis in 2009, but it has happened an issue in 2017, and there goes the new Go Southern policy in 2014. Well, this is my presentation. Thanks for listening.
Okay, so any question? Someone ask some question? Okay, so first page, do you know any trouble you have?
Trouble?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You speak one? No, I mean, are you
The mistake?
Yeah. What's your name? Do you know you did something wrong? No, you don't know? Because the surname, you, would you mind draw your name here? Write down your name again?
English?
Yes. You check again, how to write down?
Oh, I know.
No, you just follow
This one.
yeah, and it's not correct.
This is my correct.
Yes,
Yes, I think we share here.
yes, it's one choice. Yeah, and the second choice, you also have another choice.
Share here.
No, sure, first is right, but you need to put a comma. Comma? Yes. Yeah. So you have two choice. Is the Zhongliang is correct, or Xia Zhongliang, but you need the first word, you need to put the comma. Okay. And second, because I found your PPT so many Chinese, would you change in English?
I just changed my
Yes.
sentence to English.
Yeah, no, I mean you need to try. because this is only in English. So we don't like, for example, Korea word need to change in English, or Spain also can change to English. This is good for you. You need to try. Okay. And actually your presentation is very good. So you need to draw your paper and send it to me as soon as possible. Okay, good. Okay. So we have a break 10 minutes and please come back again. And the next, you can try to listen to Mr. Ho. He will present one day, one law. Okay.
Hello everyone. I'm so glad you could all be here today. And my name is Ho Han. Today I'd like to talk to you about Belt and Road. And first I will talk about this topic beginning in September and October 2013. The CPC Central Committee General Secretary Xi Jinping proposed one way along the way concept of economic cooperation and summit forum. On May 14, 2017, the forum was held in Beijing. The General Secretary of the CPC Central Committee and President Xi Jinping attended the opening ceremony and delivered a speech entitled "Working Together to Promote the Construction of One Way." More than 130 countries and representatives of over 70 international organizations will attend. And Belt and Road program covers a total of 65% of the world's population, 3/4 of the energy, 40% of the GDP. And have you ever wondered why China is so strong? And you can see the picture. That is more than 100 country peoples and represent every country. Next, I'm going to introduce the Belt and Road. The Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Central Maritime Silk Road, also known as the Belt and Road Initiative. And the Belt and Road is a development strategy proposed by Chinese President Xi Jinping that focuses on connectivity and cooperation between Asian countries, primarily the People's Republic of China, the land-based Silk Road Economic Belt, the ocean-going Maritime Silk Road. The strategy underlines China's push to take a larger role in global affairs and the desire to coordinate manufacturing capacity with other countries in areas such as steel manufacturing. And I put a video to let you more understanding about the Belt and Road.
Understanding the Belt and Road. Understanding the Belt and Road Initiative in 1 minute. How the Belt and Road Initiative will expand trade. Expanding global trade is one of the key priorities of the China-proposed One Belt, One Road Initiative. The grand design took concrete shape when China agreed to a $45 billion investment in Pakistan, with most of the spending going to build the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. Starting at Pakistan's Gwadar port on the Arabian Sea and ending in China's Xinjiang. The corridor will promote connectivity in the South Asian region and provide a shorter and cheaper route for trade with the Middle East and Africa. Statistics released by the China's Ministry of Commerce shows that during the first half of 2015, China has directly invested in 48 countries involved in the Belt and Road Initiative, with total investment volume reaching over $7 billion, a year-on-year increase of 22%. More trade potential will be tapped between countries along the route. At this year's Royal Forum for Asia in March, President Xi Jinping said China's annual trade with countries along the One Belt One Road initiative could reach $2.5 trillion in 10 years. Meanwhile, experts point out that to facilitate unimpeded trade, steps will be taken to resolve investment and trade facilitation issues, reduce investment and trade barriers, lower trade and investment costs, as well as to promote regional economic integration.
And Belt and Road depart two main roads, and the Silk Road economic belt and belt has two main directions, starting from China, ending in Europe. By Central Asia, Russia arrives in Europe. Through Central Asia, West Asia to reach the Persian Gulf and the Mediterranean coast countries. The 21st Central Maritime Silk Road, and there are two main directions. First, from the Chinese coastal ports across the South China Sea to the Indian Ocean extended to Europe. And the second one, from the Chinese coastal ports across the South China Sea to the South Pacific. And this is a picture about these two main roads. You can see they cross lots of countries. And this is the area. They use the color to depart how is a belt and road to going. And why China want to promote this policy? And the reason there will be a lot of economic incentives to promote the development of all the way, including China's economic slowdown. Still, aluminum, coal, cement, and other industries overcapacity. China hopes to create opportunity for China's slowdown in economic growth by participating in the construction of infrastructure to solve the problem of overcapacity in China. And if you want to promote a policy, you need to more and more money. And how about China get some funds to let this policy to keep going? At the meeting, Xi Jinping also promised to invest 100 billion yuan for the existing new Silk Road funds and to allocate RMB 380 billion from the two policy banks, export credit, direct provision of 60 billion yuan of aid funds to developing countries and international institutions. In addition, Xi Jinping also mentioned that the government will encourage Chinese financial institutions to expand their overseas RMB bound business to 300 billion yuan. Now I'm talking about the most point of this topic. What is the impact of Taiwan? And 2 years ago, Taiwan refused to sub investment bank. And now outside the area along the way, if Taiwan continues to miss development opportunities, is likely to cause the future of poor and weak economy Constitution. The article points out that the Tsai Ing-wen president launched the new Southward policy, but before the Li Denghui south of the policy of decaying the sand, this Taiwanese businessman in Southeast Asia, a variety of tragic reality, coupled with the United States-led TPP, and TPP means Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, and died the new South of embarrassment and glance. And this conclusion, here have 3 questions that we need to keep in mind to let Taiwan to progress. The first one is continue to focus on international issues, enhance the international concept. And second one, constantly self-learning innovation in the face of China. The new company can face the situation of large groups to deal with more complex. The final, modern economic society after all, the replace competition, mutual benefit to create more and more business. Model is to this model to develop more quickly and steadily. And this is a source where I find the Belt and Road. Thanks for listening.
Okay, so any questions? You want to ask some question? No question? Actually, Ho and Xia Zhongren, today you two will present a good topic. And if possible, you can pay more attention or try to find more data. I think now these 2 topics are all very popular, okay, and also very useful for Taiwan. So in particular, you are all the young generation. This is your responsibility about the future of Taiwan. So I hope you can pay your attention and your efforts. Try to get more data or get more information. This is good for you. So today you two all present very, very well. So I think this is a good start for you. So last time I mentioned you write down your name, something wrong, but this is okay. I did the same problem before. So I just remind you, this is very good for you try to do more practice. So I hope next semester you can join another class in English. So you have another 1 year, or you can try to consider to be the exchange student. Go to another country and try to do more practice. So in particular, your major in international business. So I hope you can go to the overseas, try to learn more. Okay, so thank you so much. And next, the lady you want to present? Yeah, who is first? Okay. So please. And you also need to draw your paper as soon as possible. Okay, this is only PPT. After that, you need to send your paper and the PPT. And the paper, you also need to provide the 1 hard copy. Print. Only paper, the PPT you don't need to print. You just send it by email. Okay.
name is Shai, and I want to talk about the United States withdrawal from the Paris Agreement. And because it is happened on June 1st, 2017, and Trump announced that this issue will affect steel industry. So I'm curious about this issue. And is this beneficial to the American economy? What is the Paris Agreement? And the Paris Agreement is a climate agreement adopted by the United Nations on December 12, 2015. It is replacing the Kyoto Protocol, hoping to jointly cut global warming trend. In the Paris Agreement, each country determines its own contribution it should make in order to mitigate global warming. There is no mechanism to force a country to set a specific target by a specific date. And the aims of Paris Agreement. The aims of the convention is described in Article 2. Enhance the implementation of the UNFCCC. That means United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change. And the first is to limit the temperature rise. Can greatly reduce the impact of risk and climate change. And the second is improve the ability to adapt to the adverse effect of climate change. Promote climate resilience and low greenhouse gas emission development without treating food production. And the last one is making finance flows consistent with the pathway toward low greenhouse gas emission and climate-related development. And this one is adaptation provision. States must report on their adaptation and action to harmonize adaptation and mitigation. The adaptation goal focus on enhanced adaptive capacity, increase resilience, and limit vulnerability. And there has insurance finance. The commitment refers to the pre-existing plan to provide US $1 billion a year in aid to developing countries for action on climate change adaptation and mitigation. And the second is loss and damage. A new issue that emerged as a focal point in the Paris negotiation rose from the fact that many of the world's effects of climate change will be too severe or come too quickly to be avoided by adaptation measures, such as loss of land to sea level rise for low-lying islands. And the next one is concerns of Paris Agreement. That is not enough. According to a study published in Nature in June 2016, current country pledges are insufficient to meet the Paris Agreement goal of keeping global temperature rise well below 2 degrees Celsius. And the second is lack of binding enforcement mechanism. Although the agreement was left by many, but most of the agreement consists of promise or aims and not firm commitments. And this one is winners from Trump decision to pull out of the Paris Agreement. And the first winner is coal executive, but not coal workers. And some coal companies have long pushed Trump to defeat the industry is collapsing. Make no bounds about it, but some coal companies, particularly one operating in Kentucky, retain remarkable political influence and have long pushed Trump to exit the court. But the effort to fight Paris will do very little for coal miners. Their lost jobs aren't coming back, and their communities won't be saved by the pullout. And the second winner is China. The U.S. is no longer going to lead on climate change. Let big other developed countries, and really China, to steer the ship. Like Europe, China has already emerged as a leader on green energy and technology. It is expected to reach its Paris target early. And the next one is loser from Trump's decision to pull out of the Paris Agreement. And the first loser is Donald Trump. And more broadly, this move on Paris will be a stand on his presidency and could prevent his ability to do business and extend the Trump brand for years to come. And the next one is Corporate America. Now, a number of business titans are busy up with the result. And the Trump pulling out of the Paris Climate Agreement is great news for China, because the U.S. is leaving a huge power vacuum for its rival. With the U.S. stepping away from its role as a leader of the global fight against climate change, Beijing is already moving to fill the void, giving it a chance to benefit both diplomatically and economically. Now, as the U.S. pull out of the global community's effort to curb carbon emissions, China's profile as a forward-looking world leader will only grow. It's set to become closer to the U.S., less still abandoned by Trump's recent action, as well as take a more aggressive lead in building a green economy. And the last one is expensive. And there are, special environmental regulations sometimes lead to unemployment, but also create the jobs. Oil and other high-polluting industries have been highly automated. Even if the United States will implement the Paris Climate Agreement, it will not cause unemployment time. And according to the U.S. Department of Energy, the U.S. solar industry offers up to 37.4 million, far more than 160,000 coal mining industry. And this is my report. Thanks for listening.
Okay, so any question? Would you mind tell us something about why American need to withdraw to the Paris Agreement? Why?
Because Trump thinks that the Paris Agreement will affect their steel industry. So he thinks that if they withdraw this agreement, that their economy will grow up.
Did you be American before? Did you go to America before? Oh yeah. Okay. One day if you go to American, then you would be surprised. Actually, American they waste a lot of resources. You know. So like our the Dr. Lee and he comment because American used a lot of resource. Actually, we need 7 Earths. It's enough. So it means American they waste a lot of resource. So you just go to America, you can see the big car, big buildings, big areas. Okay, and they only 0.3 billion population. China's 1.5 billion, but in American they only 0.3 billion, but they use all the resources larger than China. So actually, this is not good for American because they need to pay more high responsibility for the global warming. And then if they cannot follow Paris Agreement, actually it's not good for all the human beings. So we also concern this situation. But maybe this is good for China because China will become a leader, and maybe they can pay more high responsibility in the future. Okay, so you will present this is interesting topic. So in the future you can continue try to consider this issue again. Okay, thank you. So another 2 or you want a break or just continue? Okay. Okay. You can slowly going to walk.
Hello, my topic is impact of European refugees on the Germany economy. And here I have two pictures about refugees. First is Alan Carty. He is 3 years old from Syria to avoid the war with his family by a refugee ship. But unfortunately, the ship turned over. So, and 5 years old brother unfortunately broke and fell down hurt in the sand, and her body was constantly beat the waves, and his picture shaking the world. And this another picture, I believe many people know this picture. A little girl in the Sudan is dying because of not having enough food, and he wanted to move forward to find some food, but instead of her, a vulture is eyeing her. And why are there refugees in Europe? And there are three. One is war, and the second is poverty between the rich and the poor, and the last is dictatorial rule. And the number of refugees and displaced persons in the world is rising, and a large number of immigrants are hoping to travel to relatively safe country to find a safe living environment, while others seek asylum with civilized countries. And European Union attitude about refugees. First, the European Union mandated a location of 22 countries to share 120,000 refugees. Second, press the processing of immigration funds to 120 million. And the third is strengthen the Mediterranean patrol. And this is European Union countries receiving asylum publications. And here is Germany is the most many. I have a video to show the Germany.
台湾难民涌入，德国吓到不敢收了。欧盟正面临史上最大的难民危机，很明显的，有些东欧国家实在烂到连难民都不想去。于是德国站了出来，对难民们伸出欢迎的双手。 不过看起来德国人已经改变主意了。德国开始加强管制德奥边境。德国铁路公司也一度暂停行驶来往德奥匈的列车。 这些做法引发欧盟排挤难民的骨牌效应，奥地利最近也加强了边境管制。德国优渥的社会福利是难民们向往的天堂，而德国总理梅克尔则成了英雄，可是他的开放政策却造成德国内部不安。保守派指出，收留难民会危及国家安全。 有些难民可能是披着羊皮的 ISIS 战士，为何这些难民不是文化较相似的邻近中东国家呢？因为那些回教国家也不要他们啦。至少德国现在可以有墨西哥，哦不是难民来当廉价劳工啦。
Why does Germany welcome refugees to Turkey? First is political views, and NASA atrocities and commitments, and economic point of view. Some to use young refugees to make out the technological labor gap. And the economy of Germany. The European economy of the locomotive, the largest market created the European Union nearly 20% of the upper value. And the employment population was more than 40 million. It's also Europe's largest labor market. And the unemployment rate was 6.4%, of which the unemployment rate for young people aged 15 to 24 was 7.7%, the lowest in European Union countries. And the positive impact of the refugees movement. Demography dividend and complementary employment and the problem of banking and promote economic growth. And the negative impact of the refugee movement. And the German customer confidence index fall mainly due to the influx of the refugees to customers worry that the unemployment rate will rise in the next few months. And the financial black hole and second area, the principle of free passage has also been tested. And the terrorists posing as refugees. And the conclusion is Basically, the settlement of revenue is complex. It's follow up living, diet, education, and medical care. Most of responsible for the country as a general side in the establishment of the annual budget. It will now be into the fixed expenditure over the government using the emergency budget, not only the budget, exclusions of other policies, domestic public facilities may also appear the use of the limits of situation. So I thought this problem should be continued to investigate. And here is my reference.
Okay, so any question? I think we need to try to find another video in English, not in Chinese. Okay, because this is the maybe it's good for some Taiwanese, but not good for another or foreign student. They don't know Chinese. So maybe in the future, if you do the presentation in English, you need to follow all the stuff in English. Okay, and I think it's also easy to find the similar program in the YouTube in English. So yeah, I know. So just try. Yeah, but yeah, I think this topic is also interesting because we also concerned about the refuge in Germany and how do you think how to solve this problem? Because all the refugees, all the foreigner people, actually it's very difficult for the foreigner people to accept another people. In particular, so many. So, for example, in Spain, how many refugees you have, or you are welcome, or you don't?
Not so many, but we had a problem that some terrorists were with the refugees, so we have to send them back to their countries.
So you also worry.
After the attacks, I'm worried about it. I don't know what Europe should do, but right now there are a lot of countries like Poland or Hungary, Czech Republic that said no, we are not accepting the rules from the European Union. We are not accepting more refugees because the criminality is going on.
Yeah, because different people, different culture, different valuation, different behavior, it's very difficult all get together actually. And this is all challenge for the European unit. Because in European unit, you have the 29 country, you can go to all the different area for a job. If the Germany open the door.
Yeah, some countries are really angry with Germany because of that.
Yeah, not good for another members. Maybe in Spain you don't like, but how to control actually is a big trouble. So the basic we need to help them to go back to their country. Okay, we can support some financial support, provide the food, provide the money to them, and please go back to your country. Okay, so this is their problem actually made by their country, not by European country actually. So European country also not the higher responsibility to solve this problem. So, but yeah, so this is the as we present most European countries are rich, so they prefer to go to the European country. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So thank you for your presentation. Would you like to have a break or you can continue? Or everybody, you are tired? We have break 10 minutes and come back again, and you can set up your PPT first.
My name is Zhuang Honghui and I'm in the B-Bar 2A. First, I want to introduce what is the Belt and Road. The Belt is to connect the Asia-Pacific region and Europe, and the middle through the Central Asia region. The Belt and Road is raised by Chinese leader Xi Jinping, and Belt is the Silk Road economic belt, and Road is the 21st century maritime Silk Road. And the Belt is to connect the Asia-Pacific region and Europe, and the middle through the Central Asia region. And it has two ways, and started from China and arrived to Europe. One is from Central Asia, and Russia to Europe, and another is from Central Asia, West Asia to Persian Gulf, and the Mediterranean coast countries. And the road also have two ways, and one is from the Chinese coast across the South China Sea to the Indian Ocean and extending to Europe, and another is from the Chinese coast across the South China Sea to the South Pacific. And why China raised the Belt and Road? Take the U.S. for example. In 1893, Frederick Jackson Turner, a U.S. historian, published an article. The article is "The Western Market will, which the United States depends on the economic development is separate. If they want to make the national economy sustainable, development must to find another way." Because of this background, provide U.S. a motivation to develop outside, and by exporting the excess production items to the world and create economic development continue. Thus, that's why China raised the Belt and Road. And what is the advantages about the Belt and Road? First is to create a comprehensive pattern for China's economy, and second is start the next round of economic engines. Third is improve the international economic and financial governance structure. And fourth is promoting RMB to be used in international. And the last one is improve the structure of external assets and liabilities and the state of revenue and expenditure. And what is the risk and problems about the Belt and Road is how to deal with the problems with relations with big countries like US, and how to deal with small countries' relations. And third is engineering and projects implementation will have more difficulties and risks. The last one is how to ensure the security and benefits of China's large-scale investment. And who supports the Belt and Road? Bill Gates is one of supporters of the Belt and Road Plan. He pressed this strategy, and because of him, many countries decided to participate this strategy. And who opposed this plan is India is one of opposed country because India refused to participate the Belt and Road Forum for International Cooperation because India think this plan will affect the territorial sovereignty of India. And the second people who oppose this plan is the former leader of WTO. He criticized the One Belt and Road and the influence to Taiwan. First, it can avoid being marginalized and participate in Asia-Pacific regional economic cooperation. And second, cross-strait industries can develop together. And third, in leading Taiwan's export products reduce. And the last one is it may disturb the political and economic field of Taiwan. And my conclusion is maybe many people think the Belt and Road is China's westward policy and think we had better not to participate in this plan, but in fact if Taiwan can participate in this plan, I think it indeed can bring us a big benefits and profits. So I think everyone needs to realize deeply about the Belt and Road and think carefully whether Taiwan is suitable to participate or not. Thank you.
Okay, so any question or any comment? Raise your hand. We drop the same topic. Do you have any comment? No? Sometimes, I mentioned before, if our presentation and no question, no comment is not so good. So, in the future, if you go to American for your study, I hope you can ask more questions because the foreigner teacher always concerned about your participation. If you can ask more questions, it represent you participate or you pay more attention for this class. Okay, so we don't be ashamed to ask any question. So Q&A are also very important for our study. Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, so total we have 14 students, and here now already have the 10 students completely their presentation. And I also hope you need to drop your paper as soon as possible. And everybody, you need to send your paper in Word, you send this paper, but you also need to send the Word. And this is not exactly format. Okay, so maybe I would like to send some samples in the e-learning so you can follow. For example, you need to drop your topic and your name. Okay, so I'm not sure, maybe. For example, this is my paper, okay? So, for example, you need to have your topic and the name, okay? And you also can mention which department you have in Taiwan, okay? And the next, you need to drop abstract, okay? Abstract, okay? You just go to the e-learning, you can find this paper, okay? And if possible, you also can try to mention maybe 3 or 4 keywords, okay? And after that, introduction, okay? Like here, introduction. And the second, you can provide your some basic background or some factor for your topic. And you maybe can provide some data or where did you find, because this paper is belong to empirical analysis. So I try to do some analysis. Okay, this is the model. And you also can try to drop some result. And after that, you can make some the conclusion. Okay. And after that, you also need to provide some reference. Okay. So the reference, you can see, this is what we call APS stack. So you can draw the surname. For example, for me, I'm the home. Okay, home. Okay. Just put the surname. And the windshield, we only use the W. Okay. And the 2009, this is my PhD dissertation. Or if you are interested, you also can connect on this website, and you can find my PhD dissertation or thesis. And the other one, you also can try to another. So maybe this is the sample. Okay, you can follow. So in the future, if you continue for your master program or PhD, I think this is all more standard. So we can call this as APS stack. Okay. So I hope if possible, you just go back and go to the e-learning, okay? And then you can find my paper on here, or you just connect, and then if possible, you need to draw in Word, okay? And after that, you send to me. Maybe I can try to do some revise for you. If you print or you print in the PDF, I cannot change. Okay, so I hope you can try to do more. This is the maybe I would have to provide another sample for last semester, or I bring in the, another their paper I already etched. I mentioned before, or maybe next time I also can bring here to show you again. Okay, so actually this is the semester we nearly closed. Okay, so we have another next week. So I hope the lady you can go faster. Okay, so if you join all completely, then you will get a good score. Okay, if you cannot completely, I only say sorry. I cannot do anything for you. Okay, so this is your story. So I'm not sure. One day, if you continue doing the master or PhD, and then you have some supervisor. So I'm not sure. Do you know about what is a supervisor? Supervisor actually, they only provide some direction for you, but all the work you need to do by yourself. Okay, so this is our course. So I hope everybody we nearly completed it. Okay, so I hope this is good for you. Okay, so today can we stop here? Or you want to continue? Okay, so today we just stop here, and I hope we can drop the paper as soon as possible. Okay? Okay, so we just stop here.